Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and I'm in a brand new 125 test world with a bunch of new funky trees looking in front of me. This is a mod spotlight on Tropicraft. Tropicraft is a mod that's been around for a while, but it just got a new update. It's version 3.0. It has some really neat features and it's a really cool looking mod. So how about without further ado, I get started showing you all the cool stuff that Tropicraft can bring us. So as you can see, there's a bunch of palm trees in front of me. Seems to me like these guys like to spawn in desert biomes. So they'll hang out here. You can see a bunch of them kind of as I'm flying around, showing you guys the world. And one of the cool things that these trees can give us, aside from a new type of wood and a new type of leaf and all that cool stuff, you can see there's some coconuts on here. There they are. So if we hack away at those coconuts with anything other than a sword, we'll just get a coconut block. Cool. And these coconuts can be used for a couple different things. One of them in particular is the coconut bomb. Oh my. Let's check out what that guy's about. But the proper way to deal with these coconuts is to whack at them with a sword. Ta-da! You'll get all these neat little coconut chunks. So I got about 4 of them here, and I can eat them to refill my hunger bar. But I'm going to hang on to them because I'm going to need them for a couple other things. You can also chop up this tree if you wanted to, just with a regular old axe. So I'll grab an axe here to chop away at the tree with. And you can see you get a new type of wood called palm wood. And you can get palm planks out of that wood. And those things are used for pretty much your standard stuff here. You can get stairs, and you can, of course, use it as a crafting table recipe and a couple other things for fuel and whatnot. But it's a pretty neat-looking material if you like to build fancy huts. It's just another texture of wood to use. So there you go. Pretty cool looking. Now, moving on, we, of course, also, because this is tropical Tropicraft, pineapples. How cool are these guys? Just whack away at them with a sword or something to chop them down, and you get pineapples. You can place them in a crafting table to get yourself some pineapple cubes, and the pineapple cubes can be eaten again for food. But I'm just going to hang on to this pineapple because there's something else I want to look for here. Let's start flying around and see if we can't find anything else that's cool. Hey, I see something in the distance. What are those tall giant things? Looks to me like we found some bamboo. Awesome. And a sheep hanging out with all the pineapples. What's up, Mr. Sheep? Bamboo is a pretty fast-growing type of grass, and you can just clip away at the bottom piece, and you'll get a bunch of pieces of bamboo. You can replant it, and it'll grow, kind of like reeds, but much taller. And there we go. That looks like enough bamboo for me. So let's swing back to that beach that we found ourselves on earlier. Here we are. So, I've got myself some bamboo. What can I use this for? Well, I can make some bamboo planks out of it, another kind of retextured type of wood, which you can also make some stairs and a bunch of other cool stuff. A bunch of really cool things, actually. But one of the first things I'm going to make with it is this empty bamboo mug. Cool. So let's get a crafting table here and simply combine something along these lines. There we go. Empty bamboo mug. Cool. And if we combine that empty bamboo mug with a pineapple and a coconut chunk, well, we'll get a pina colada. I love pina coladas, especially in the rain. You see you can get an achievement for that. So one other thing we're going to need to craft here is a beach chair, some more bamboo, and some wool. And there's a bunch of different colors of these, actually. But I'm going to place my beach chair right there. That looks nice. Relaxing, chilling on my beach chair. How's it going, man? And if you happen to be sitting here around dusk and decide to drink your pina colada while sitting in your beach chair, you might fall into a nice, deep, dark sleep where you'll drift into the tropics. Dun dun dun. Oh my. Where the heck am I? Ooh, this is a neat looking place. This is the Tropics. It's another dimension that pretty much most of the Tropicraft content is available in. You guys have seen a couple things in the Overworld, but in this tropical dimension, there's all kinds of cool stuff to explore. Let's make it daytime, just so you guys can definitely see while watching on YouTube. Some really cool fish. Looks like over here we've got a jellyfish. Oh my. And he hurts when you get near him. See you later, buddy. But down here we've got some other kinds of cool fish, and one of the neat things you might notice right away is that the water is a lot more clear than it is in the Overworld. There's some coral reefs down here. Cool. and some other kinds of fish, some swordfish it looks like. Here's some neat looking tropical fish. And what's cool here is if you grabbed yourself a bucket, just get a couple of them, fill them with water. There we go. And if you had that filled bucket there, you could get yourself a fish net. Cool, fishing net. The recipe for that is just some bamboo and some string. And all you gotta do is right click on your fish if you can catch up with one of them. Ta-da! And don't stay underwater too long because you'll drown. And you note that you've got a bucket full of fish. There's several different types of fish. And if we were to look at the buckets full of fish, let's see, buckets. There's quite a few here. Clownfish and regal fish and betta fish, all kinds of neat stuff. You can create a nice little custom aquarium with just some glass blocks and make sure to fill it up with water. Just right click to drop your fish in. Cool. And these little guys will hang out in your aquarium and you can have a nice little aquarium inside your house. Pretty simple, and you can make it as tall or as wide as you want. This is just a standard small size, but pretty awesome. And if you're planning to spend any time underwater, you should definitely craft yourself a snorkel here. This guy will allow you to stay underwater for about 4 times as long as you normally would be able to. So your air breathing down there shouldn't be too much of a problem. Awesome. Back underwater here, you can see me swimming around, checking out some of the really cool coral that's available to you guys. You can knock it off and pick it up, and then reuse it later. There's a bunch of neat looking coral that you can find, a bunch of really cool looking stuff. And if you want, you could build like a nice little coral farm underground here. It's pretty neat. And exploring this world just a little bit, and I'm flying around to make it a little bit more quick. You can see this neat little guy, an Easter Island head. Ooh, he's cool looking, but don't anger him because he will attack you. They're a little quick and a little painful, so just be careful. Oh my. Moving on, you'll find a bunch of different wildlife out here. Here are some neat little monkeys. They're cute little guys who just like to hang out. And as rumor has it, they do like to get their hands on a pina colada now and again. Hey, how's it going? There you go. Enjoy, Mr. Monkey. Yum. Some really interesting wildlife can be found in Tropicraft. A bunch of different flowers, a bunch of different trees that are available to check out. There's also a bunch of more animals. There's some turtles, some iguanas. These iguanas over here are a good example of an iguana. Nice little guys. They won't hurt you too much, but if you do attack them, watch out, because they'll start coming out of the woodwork and come after you pretty quickly. Some really interesting trees, especially if we head back off in this direction. You might see some of the really larger trees that are available in the tropics. Oh my. These guys are huge trees. Very cool looking. And note the leaves blowing in the wind there. A really neat effect added by Tropicraft. And I do hope you didn't expect a world this beautiful to be uninhabited. No, of course not. There's definitely some villagers and a couple other creatures out here besides villagers that you might run into. These guys are pretty peaceful. They just like to fish, that's all. Aloha! How are you? How's it going? Definitely cool. See, here they are fishing over here on the side. They're swimming around, doing all kinds of stuff. And as we start digging through the earth, you guys might find some other ores available in the game. First off, you've got this cool stuff, azurite. Neat. And then down here, we've got another type of ore. This here is Udia something. That's hard to pronounce. Udiolite. Let's say that. I hope that was close. Sorry, guys. And then this stuff right here is zircon crystal. And a lot of these do have uses, and especially with pickaxes and axes and shovels and whatnot. So you can basically use your zircon to make any of your standard tools. And the same for azurite. Or this stuff, the udiolite. Azurite, I don't think has a use just yet, but it will pretty soon. And the items here that you can make are really pretty neat looking. So if we were to get a handful of them here. Cool. good stuff. You can also get some tiki torch poles. These things are pretty awesome looking. They're basically like torches, but they're much taller. Ha, how cool is that? They look great at nighttime. Awesome. You've also got a beach umbrella, you know, if you don't want to hang out too late in the sun. And you could place your beach umbrella right next to your chair. And like I said, there's a bunch of different colored chairs you can get. Ah, chilling out. In fact, there's so many items, as you can see by scrolling through NEI right here, that you might need to craft yourself this guy right here, the Encyclopedia Tropicana. The Encyclopedia Tropicana will keep track of all the different items you found so far. Just get a book and surround it with some bamboo, and it'll give you a nice little interesting guide to the encyclopedia. Now, it's pretty intelligent. It's going to automatically analyze anything you found in the world so far and give it an entry right here. So you can see all the cool stuff that I've found and quite a few things that I haven't found just yet. There's that azurite. Cool. And any items that can be crafted, it will show the crafting recipe here and all the different items that can be crafted with it. So when I picked up the mug, you can see the mug's recipe and the items that you can make with the mug. How cool is that? Pretty neat. Just click through the pages over here in your book to see all the different neat things that have been found thus far, and there's a lot to discover, as you can see, in Tropicraft. Another one of the neat items you could craft here is a blowgun, just some bamboo and iron, and you'll need to craft up some paralyzing darts, some poison frog skins. You'll find some poison frogs running around in the tropical realm, and you can just simply use them to paralyze your foes. Dun 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 dun. Sheep's not happy, but he's not going anywhere, because he's paralyzed. Oh no! Wahahaha. He can't get away. Oh no! Another cool little item here is the beach float. Just hop on and place it in the water, and you'll get to float down the stream. Ta-da! It'll go zipping away if there's a strong current, but if there's a smooth or calm current, you won't get sucked too far. Let's get ourselves another one of these beach floats and head off in this direction. Hey, what's that? Way back there in the distance. Ah, nice and relaxing. Whoa, what the heck is all that stuff? Let's get off this float and see what's going on. Cobble, lava, must be a volcano. Watch out for these volcanoes. They will spew lava and shoot it off into the distance. Kaboom. It'll cause a heck of a problem all over the place. Oh my. Especially when they start erupting. So be quite careful if you run into one of these volcanoes. They spew out a ton of smoke into the air. And a serious source of lava, for those of you who might find a good use for that. Whoa. Tons of this stuff. Nothing like seeing a tree dripping with lava. Dude, this thing's out of control. And guys, that about wraps it up for Tropicraft. There's a bunch of other stuff to check out, I assure you. I haven't even scratched the surface on this mod. There's a bunch of really cool things to see. But for now, I'm going to wrap up this video and leave the rest up to you to discover. So like I said, check out Tropicraft, a really neat mod. Adds a whole nother dimension all about a tropical realm with a bunch of cool things to discover. Lots of animals and lots of creatures and even some natives. So this is Direwolf20 signing off on Tropicraft version 3.0 from Minecraft 1.2.5. Take it easy.